Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. This is the 9th meeting of 2025 and the 38th regular meeting of the current term of the Metropolitan Council of Nashville and Davidson County. Will all members of the council, as well as the public, please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation is being offered this evening by Melissa Thomas, Executive Director of the Branch of Nashville in Antioch. Ms. Thomas is the guest of District 33 Council Member Antoinette Lee. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor and distinctive members of the council and many friends that I have in this room. And Antoinette, thank you for inviting me to come. As the director of the branch of Nashville in Antioch, I come to you representing the tapestry of diversity and beauty that is our community. And I wish I could have brought Salim and Hilal and Maria and Zeravon with me so that you could meet them. Zeravon, who came here as a 12-year-old Kurdish boy and couldn't read, and the branch surrounded him and helped get him to graduation. I wish you could meet Les, who's 80 years old, raising his 3 young grandchildren. I wish you could meet so many beautiful image bearers of the Almighty Creator. Snapshots of God's likeness, all of them sharing the commonality of all of us who just want to make life better for our families and our neighbors. Come join us sometime at the Better Futures Coalition in Southeast Nashville. Nonprofits, community leaders, and neighbors gather monthly, shoulder to shoulder, working on shared challenges and shared hopes. If you look closely at our community, you'll see many languages, many colors, many traditions, and yet so much unity in our dreams and our values. And yet some of our neighbors are being targeted unfairly, caught in the crosshairs of fear and misinformation and prejudice, often because of the color of their skin. In these moments, our response must be grounded in love, in courage, and in a commitment to justice. We will not look away. We can't look away. We will stand with them. We will speak up as we are called to do. History has taught us much. Let us not forget its lessons. This is a moment that calls us to remember our shared humanity. And if you join me, we'll pray and ask God to use our work to bring justice and peace to our city. Our Father in heaven, we come to you because we need you. We need your wisdom and we need your heart. We need the strength to do the things that are right for our city and best for all of our neighbors. We need the courage to speak up and stand for justice for every person. Open our eyes where we are blind. Open our mouths where we are silent. Help us put our faith to work so that it brings justice that flows down like a river. We are here to be your hands and to be your feet. In the name of Jesus, we ask these things. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Welcome, council and community members. We've had a good bit of severe weather in the area this evening, and we appreciate everyone being thoughtful and weather aware. We continue to encourage Nashvillians to please sign up for Metro's emergency alert and notification system, MEANS, MEANS, at means.nashville.gov. We are watching the weather closely and will always advise council members and members of the public here in person with us what to do in case there is a tornado warning or an imminent threat. Our 1937 historic courthouse and city hall is literally solid as a rock. So we hope you know that you are safe here with us this evening. Well, after another evening of storms, this past Saturday was a beautiful and sunny day. And so I want to thank the 1,100 Nashvillians and 5 council members that participated in Walk Bike Nashville's tour Dinesh bike ride. Bike Month continues through May, and we want to encourage all Nashvillians to take or try making at least one car trip a bike trip instead, to bike to dinner, bike to a local shop, bike to the library. And if you bike to the library, maybe get started on that summer reading. So the school year is coming to a close, so congratulations to all students and special congratulations to high school and college seniors, many now graduates. Chair Porterfield has a daughter recently graduated from MLK, so congratulations to her and all her classmates. Thank you again to teachers, staff, and administrators who served Nashville students so well. The Metro Nashville School Board will be with us to discuss the school's budget this Thursday evening. Budget hearings continue tomorrow and Thursday, starting at 4 in the council chamber. We have resolutions on this evening's agenda recognizing May as Jewish American Heritage Month and Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, reminding us again that we are a nation of immigrants and that our diversity does make us stronger. We encourage all Nashvillians to take advantage of the many cultural offerings and support our local small businesses, many of which are immigrant-owned. Lastly, today, May 20th, is World Bee Day. So I know Councilman Huffman will want me to remind Nashvillians and council members to plant native pollinators in their gardens and on their patios this spring and summer, and let those wildflowers, sometimes called flowering weeds, grow a bit to help all our bees. Okay. Without objection, we will suspend the calling of the roll and ask the clerk to please record the names of the members present throughout the meeting. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes of the meeting of May 6th, 2025? Okay, properly moved and seconded without objection, and seeing no one seeking to be recognized for a change to the minutes of May 6th are approved. Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the mayor?
There are no messages from the mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. All right, moving into our agenda, section E, elections. We have, and I'm just going to take a point of personal privilege to go back and share that Tom Cash's daughter also graduated from MLK, so I should have mentioned her as well. Thank you, and congratulations again to both your daughters' members. That's a really big milestone. Thank you, Ms. Porterfield. All right. Section E, elections. We have 4 positions this evening that are to be filled by election. The first 3 having nominees that are unopposed. We can take those by voice, but still must be taken separately. And the 4th vote we will take on your desk tablets. Chair Prep T for the report of the Rules, Confirmations and Elections Committee. Sir, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. The committee considered the appointment or considered the nomination to the Cheatham County Rail Authority of Councilmember Joy Stiles and voted 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay.
And with that, I move approval.
That's great. Would you just go ahead and read a report for every nominee for election? If we could just do that all at one time, sir.
Perfect. I can do that. With regard to the Procurement Standards Board, the nomination of Sarah Martin has been withdrawn.
Okay. So noted. And then for E2 and E3?
Yes, thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. With regard to the Human Relation Commission appointment of Jermaine Cole, that was approved with 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. For the Nashville and Eastern Rail Authority of the nomination of Councilmember Aaron Evans, that was also approved, 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. With regard to the Procurement Standards Board, we considered the appointment of Bob Braswell as well as Roger Legion Jr. and voted 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting to approve. For the Emergency Communication District E911 Board appointment of Daniel B. Dwyer, the committee voted 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. For the Greenways and Open Space Commission, the appointment of Cedric Duncan.
Actually, Mr. Prepty, so we're just going to do our Section E right now for our elections, okay?
Perfect.
And then we'll just, so we'll clear our elections, and then we will proceed to Section F, appointees and nominees.
Right.
Okay, members. So again, these first three elections, our nominees are unopposed, so we can take those by voice, but we will still need to take them separately. And so, Mr. Prepty, I guess I will ask you to make a motion. Normally, we're on our tablets for these elections, but, yes, ma'am, for a point of order, Ms.
Yeah,
Webb, you're
point of order.
recognized.
I actually was supposed to withdraw my candidate in the committee, so I just sent it. My candidate did withdraw. I want to withdraw my candidacy.
Okay. I guess that is
Bob Braswell.
proper. Special Counsel Darby. Okay, so with Bob Braswell now withdrawn from consideration for the Procurement Standards Board, that leaves Mr. Roger Ligon Jr. As the sole nominee. And as such, now we will be able to take all four by voice, but we do have to take them separately. So, Chair, if we'll just roll right on through these.
All right, thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Move approval of the, for consideration of the appointment to the Cheatham County Rail Authority.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. All in favor of the election of, or all electing Councilmember Joy Stiles, please say aye. Aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, I gotta take that as a little point of humor there. Okay. All right. Council has elected Joy Stiles to the Cheatham County Rail Authority. We will do collective applause at the end, folks. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Prepty. Item E2 regarding the Human Relations Commission.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Move approval of the nomination of Jermaine Cole to the Human Relations Commission.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. All in favor of the election of Jermaine Cole, please say aye. Aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, council has elected Jermaine Cole to the Human Relations Commission. Next, E3, the Nashville and Eastern Rail Authority. Chair Prepty.
Move approval of the nomination of Councilmember Aaron Evans.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. All in favor of the election of Councilmember Aaron Evans to the Nashville and Eastern Rail Authority, please say aye. And any voting no or abstaining? Okay, council has elected Councilmember Evans to the Nashville and Eastern Rail Authority. And then lastly now, item E4 regarding the Procurement Standards Board.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Move approval of the nomination for the Procurement Standards Board.
Okay, all in favor of the election of Roger Ligon Jr., please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, council has elected Roger Ligon Jr. to the Procurement Standards Board. Okay, we want to thank and congratulate everyone that was elected this evening. If you are with us this evening, please do stand. And we appreciate your willingness to serve.
Go up again. Oh, exactly.
All right, council members. Section F of your agenda regarding appointees and nominees. This section of the agenda shares all persons that were scheduled to appear before the Rules, Confirmations, and Public Elections Committee this evening. Referrals are back to the committee will be by rule as part of the council's two-meeting process for elections and confirmations. No votes will be taken in this section of the agenda other than for deferrals. Chair Prepty, a committee report first, please, with any withdrawals or deferrals.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. The committee considered the Work Release Commission reappointment of Father Edward Steiner and voted 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting for a one-meeting deferral.
Okay. Is there a motion to defer this one meeting?
So moved.
Okay, any discussion on that? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, the reappointment interview of Father Edward Steiner is deferred one meeting to the first meeting in June. Okay, next, Chair Prepty, a very brief summary report, which is the name of the board and commission and the persons who were interviewed today, and will be referred back for confirmation consideration on June 30th, please.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. The following individuals received a vote of 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. The Health Board appointment of Heather Powell, the Park and Recreation Board appointment of Allison Hudson Pell, the Transportation Licensing Commission appointment of Dr. Ann Butterworth, the Transportation Licensing Commission appointment of Juan Mara, as well. Oh, that's all. All
Yep.
received a vote of 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, great. And they are referred back for confirmation consideration by rule on June 30th. All right. Next, we are moving into Section G, confirmations. And so Chair Prepty, you're recognized again for your committee report on the appointees in the second step of your committee's two-meeting process and a consolidated motion or first for deferrals if there are any, sir. Go ahead.
There are no deferrals, Madam Vice Mayor.
Okay. All right. Go ahead then, sir.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. The following individuals received a vote of 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting to approve the Emergency Communication District E911 Board appointment of Daniel B. Dwyer, the Greenways and Open Space Commission appointment of Cedric Duncan and Murray Hill, as well as James Moore, the Metro Transit Authority appointment of Jeff Haynes, the Tourism and Convention Commission appointment of Sherry Franklin, the Tourism and Convention Commission appointment of Thomas Pirlo, the Work Release Commission reappointment of Ron Parham. All have received a vote of 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting, and with that, I move approval.
Okay. There is a motion properly seconded to take up all these together. For a vote of confirmation. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? Okay. If you are with us this evening, you can please stand as I call your name and confirm that council has confirmed the appointment of Daniel B. Dwyer to the Emergency Communications District E911 Board. Council has confirmed to the Greenways and Open Space Commission the appointments of Cedric Duncan, Maury Hill, and James Moore. Council has confirmed the appointment of Jeff Haynes to the Metro Transit Authority. Council has confirmed the appointments to the Tourism and Convention Commission of Sherry Franklin and Thomas Petrillo. And lastly, council has confirmed the reappointment of Ron Parham to the Work Release Commission. Whether you are with us this evening where it does not appear anyone is, because that's okay, you don't have to be here. It's a two-step process. But if you're watching at home, please know that we appreciate your willingness to serve. We appreciate you very much, council. If you would please share our applause with those folks as well. All right, so we appreciate everybody that was both elected and confirmed this evening at our meeting. Thank you so much. Okay. Next, we're moving into Section H for our public comment. Members of the public who are Tennessee residents wishing to speak during our public comment time may sign up at our table that is outside of our council chamber from 5 to 6 p.m. on the day of a council meeting. Public comment is limited to 20 minutes total at council meetings, and each speaker is allowed up to 2 minutes to speak. Persons speaking on agenda items must be prioritized to comply with state law. All right. When I call your name, if you would please come forward to the public podium. I'll do my best to kind of call ahead to the second person. So if you would go ahead and come on forward so we can move along through this section of our agenda. First is Eldon Spraker, who is speaking about safety on Bronner Street. And after Eldon Spraker is Joel Christopher Cottrell. Mr. Spraker, go ahead. You're recognized.
Thank you. I'm here to speak on Bronner. We're having just major trouble over there with just all sorts of drugs, prostitution, things that we haven't seen in this level before. And situations where we're at 213 Bronner, I've had that building for a while, and at like 209 Bronner just next door, you have a car that looks like you're in Detroit. It has no wheels on it, not on blocks, just laying on the pavement. Trailer that's tires are bad on it. The people will climb onto the trailer and then climb on the building and sit in a lounge chair. We can't get control of it. And we don't see a large police presence down there. Maybe they just don't see it enough, but we're seeing just too much activity that's not proper for any business to be down there. So we have another building across the street at 213 Bronner, it's at 412 Gallatin Road. And it's just right across the way, and everything is calmed down over there. And 6-8 months ago, it was rough over there. But it is totally changed up, and you don't have the problems that you have just across the street. So the safety is what my concern is, because we have a wonderful tenant in there, Stephen Modlin, and he teaches all sorts of self-defense, teaches children, teaches women's self-defense. But our problem is he can't do that with this type of activity out. People just don't want to come anymore. And that's the problem that we have. What we're just trying to ask for is just some presence, police presence, any type of things that the council could help with. It's just an area, I've lived in Nashville all my life, and it's just hard to go down a street like that and see that level of just drugs and prostitution. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Joel Christopher Cottrell. And following Joel will be Tanya Zuckerman. Tanya, if you want to go ahead and come forward. Go ahead, Mr. Cottrell, you're recognized.
Hey, good evening. I just wanted to take the time to introduce myself. As you heard, my name is Joel Cottrell. I am the new president of the Fraternal Order of Police. As many of you know, we represent approximately 2,000 members of law enforcement in Nashville and Davidson County. So I'm looking forward to getting to know and working with each of you in the near future. So thank you.
Thank you. Next is Tanya Zuckerman. She is also speaking about the safety of Bronner Street. And following Ms. Zuckerman will be Sam Pachulet. Ms. Zuckerman, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. I assist the owner at Bronner with property management. Finding a quality tenant and a quality business has not been easy for us over the years. For the first time, our Madison community has a truly worthy individual in Stephen and a worthy contribution to the community that deserves to be saved from closing or, God forbid, a shooting of one of his patrons or a child that he is teaching. Today, I drove out in the rain and observed the problem spots on the street. Aldi has landscape bushes and trees all the way down the side. That's where the crime is happening. That's where they're hiding out. A young lady had knee socks and shorts on, and I circled and circled, and she was trying to walk out. She was obviously uncomfortable, but that area, I'm sure she was waiting on a trick or a fix, most likely. I don't know if anyone has influence with Aldi, but the beautiful shrubs and trees is a hiding place for crime. Can it be fenced? Can it be utilized creatively for something to reduce the crime. It's budget time, and we are begging the council to put police presence. There's a short alleyway behind the strip center, and they're hiding out there. Can we put a gate? Can we put 2 fences on the ends? Our building is right behind the Mexican restaurant. They're throwing trash out. Again, car zone blocks, boxes. There's a big TV back there. So codes, not just a letter, but a presence that continues until we can get it cleaned up. We need lights, volunteers. I live 5 minutes from the building, and I'm willing to do anything it takes to keep Stephen from losing his business. I don't want, the only other thing I know is to try to get an expose on a news station at this point. I don't want to do it. I trust that the council can help
Thank
us,
you.
and God bless you, and thank you.
Thank you. Next is Sam and friends from Music City Construction Careers. Go ahead. You're recognized.
Good afternoon, council members, friends. It's great to speak with you all tonight. My name is Sam Petchalot. I serve on the Nashville Property Standards Appeals Board, and I also serve as the executive director of Music City Construction Careers, who I'm with here tonight. Today, we brought a class of our pre-apprenticeship trainees to this chamber, not just to observe, but to claim their place in it. We're here to learn how city government works and how working people can make their voices heard and meet their needs, not only their personal needs, but to empower their communities as well. These are folks who have been shut out for too long, but are ready to build the future of this city with their own hands, literally. When we started, we had just a few students and a big dream, 5 to 10 students per class. In 2019, since Metro Nashville began supporting us along with the Metro Action Commission, we've grown to 30 plus students a class, graduated over 300 individuals, and placed more than 70% of them into paid union apprenticeship programs. Real careers, not gig work, not part-time. We believe that's what investment in working people looks like. I'm thrilled for that to be my vocation in my life right now. And I want to tell you about one of these people, a woman and a union sister named Mary. Mary went through our program in 2019. She was making $12 an hour. She had a disability. She was told she didn't belong in the trades. But she never stopped believing. She had perfect attendance through our program. 2 weeks after our program, she started an apprenticeship with the sheet wet metal workers local. She stuck with it. And last week, I left our class and I drove directly to her graduation ceremony from that 4-year program, where she also had perfect attendance. And that's just one example. She's earning $70,000 a year with union benefits, union pay, and union solidarity. So we appreciate your support for this program, and we're thrilled to be here. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Next, and welcome to you all here in attendance, also in the gallery. Thank you. Next, Aaron Wittes, speaking on agenda item 39, resolution 2025-1253 in support. Go ahead, you're recognized.
Thank you. Good evening, council. My name is Erin Whitus, and I'm the team captain for Nice Jewish Runners Nashville, a proud Jewish American and Nashvilleian. I'm here to speak in support of Resolution 1253, which recognizes May 2025 as Jewish American Heritage Month in Nashville and Davidson County. In the last year alone, anti-Semitism and security threats have continued right here in our city. Voices that could be speaking out may not be, among other disheartening moments. All while this has happened, Jewish Nashvilleians have continued living our lives. A year ago, I was standing in front of you guys, honestly a little scared to be openly Jewish in Nashville. Since then, I've started a chapter of a social running group here, a social running group for Jewish runners and friends that meets weekly for movement and community. We had runners and a cheer zone in 12 South during the rock and roll races that happened at the end of April. In a week and a half, we'll be celebrating a whole entire year of Nice Jewish Runners here in Nashville, and we're only continuing with strides forward. Our group's success would not be possible without the support of so many Jewish businesses, allies, and leaders in our city. I think it's important to recognize the contributions of the Nashville Jewish community to our local culture, history, music, government, art scene, and so many more. Some of the best bagels, babka, challah I've had are because of local Jewish bakers. Some of the lyrics that have resonated with me most at Jewish Writers Rounds are from Jewish writers. Every Friday night, I gather with my Jewish community to close out each week. I want to thank each and every one of you for everything that you've done and continue to do for the Nashville Jewish community as our leaders here. It means a lot, certainly now more than ever, so thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Lastly, we have Stephen Modlin, also about the safety of Bronner Street, but I do see you're speaking with your council member there, so I don't want to take you away from that, because that was going to be a thing I was going to share with all three of you to be in touch with your council member. But go ahead, sir, you're recognized.
No problem. Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor.
It's okay, all
and
good.
council members. My name is Stephen Modlin. I'm a disabled combat vet. I spent 2 tours in Iraq. I've come back. I've spent a lifelong time in martial arts, coaching, things like that. I've coached people from youth, from 5 years old, all the way up to pro mixed martial artists. November of 2023, I opened up a business on Bronner Avenue, and since that time, I've had 3 shootings in 1 city block. I've had overdoses. I've had prostitution. I've had people defecating in front of children in the middle of the street. All in all, while calling the police with nothing happening. I'm to the point now that I'm going to end up closing my doors, and it's simply because of the crime and the nonsense and the lack of accountability in our community, right? All I want to know is, what is it going to take? Is it going to take a child losing its life? Is it going to take more businesses to open and fail, right? I don't know. So I'm not asking for a miracle, because I'm literally closing my doors. But I am asking for you to care, because these people behind me have been phenomenal. And it's got to start somewhere. That somewhere is simply a presence of a police officer, just like he's sitting here.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming to share with us. We'll try to connect you with some resources. All right, that concludes our public comment period. All right, next is Section I, Rules of Procedure. We take up amendments to Council's Rules of Procedure as we would a legislative resolution. Councilmember Benedict has filed a proposed amendment to new Rule 9.3, which was in effect for the first time at the last meeting. And wait for it, per Council's Rules of Procedure, the proposed rule was deferred by rule 1 meeting to this meeting. And this and all proposed rule changes can be found in your agenda analysis. Ms. Benedict, Councilmember, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move for deferral to the first meeting in July.
Okay, let me first get your committee report, if I may. Chair Prep T.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Yes, the committee considered the amendment to Rule 9.3 and had a very good discussion in committee, and are seeking to continue that discussion. And with that, the committee voted for a deferral to the first meeting in July, with 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting for that deferral.
All right. Okay, now it's back to you with that report in, Ms. Benedict, for that motion.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to make that motion again.
Okay. There's a motion to defer to the first meeting in July, properly seconded, on this rule of procedure. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this is deferred to the first meeting in July. All right. So next, we are moving to our consolidated consent agenda. All resolutions and second and third reading ordinances on this agenda are included on the consent agenda if recommended for approval unanimously by all committees to which the item was referred. Items on the consent agenda will be voted on at a single time. The item number, along with the resolution and ordinance number of the items on the consent agenda, will be read by me, and members of the council may remove any item from the consent agenda by request before the consent agenda vote is taken. Okay. First, for resolutions proposed for the consent agenda. First is Agenda Item 5, Resolution 2025-1191. Agenda Item 8, Resolution 2025-1221. Agenda Item 9, Resolution 2025-1222. Agenda Item 11, Resolution 2025-1224. Agenda Item 12, Resolution 2025-1225. Agenda Item 13, Resolution 2025-1226. Agenda Item 14, Resolution 2025-1228. Agenda Item 15, Resolution 2025-1229. Agenda Item 16, Resolution 2025-1230. Agenda Item 17, Resolution 2025-1231. Agenda Item 18, Resolution 2025-1232. Agenda Item 19, Resolution 2025-1233. Agenda Item 20, Resolution 2025-1234. Agenda Item 21, Resolution 2025-1235. Agenda Item 22, Resolution 2025-1236. Agenda Item 23, Resolution 2025-1237. Agenda Item 24, Resolution 2025-1238. Agenda Item 25, Resolution 2025-1239. Agenda Item 26, Resolution 2025-1240. Agenda Item 27, Resolution 2025-1241. Agenda Item 28, Resolution 2025-1242. Agenda Item 29, Resolution 2025-1243. Agenda Item 30, Resolution 2025-1244. Agenda Item 31, Resolution 2025-1245. Agenda Item 32, Resolution 2025-1246. Agenda Item 33, Resolution 2025-1247. Agenda Item 34, Resolution 2025-1248. Agenda Item 35, Resolution 2025-1249. Agenda Item 36, Resolution 2025-1250. Agenda Item 37, Resolution 2025-1251. Agenda Item 38, Resolution 2025-1252. Agenda item 39, Resolution 2025-1253. Agenda item 40, Resolution 2025-1254. Agenda item 41, Resolution 2025-1255. Now moving ahead to bills on second reading that are proposed for the consolidated consent agenda. First among those is Agenda Item 55, Ordinance BL 2025-818. Agenda Item 57, Ordinance BL 2025-821. Agenda Item 58, Ordinance BL 2025-822. Agenda Item 59, Ordinance BL 2025-823. Agenda Item 60, Ordinance BL 2025-824. Agenda Item 61, Ordinance BL 2025-825. Agenda Item 62, Ordinance BL 2025-826. Agenda Item 63, Ordinance BL 2025-827. Agenda Item 64, Ordinance BL 2025-828. Next, Section N, bills on third reading proposed for the consolidated consent agenda. First item on third reading for consent is Agenda Item 65, Ordinance BL 2025-741. Agenda Item 66, Ordinance BL 2025-751. Agenda Item 67, Ordinance BL 2025-761. Agenda Item 68, Ordinance BL 2025-783. Agenda Item 69, Ordinance BL 2025-784. Agenda Item 70, Ordinance BL 2025-787. And Agenda Item 71, Ordinance BL 2025-788. Next is Agenda Item 74, Ordinance BL 2025-791. Agenda Item 75, Ordinance BL 2025-792. Agenda Item 76, Ordinance BL 2025-795. Agenda Item 77, Ordinance BL 2025-797. And Agenda Item 78, Ordinance BL 2025-798. So 797 and 798. Okay. Next, Agenda Item 80, Ordinance BL 2025-800. And Agenda Item 81, Ordinance BL 2025-801. Agenda Item 82, Ordinance BL 2025-802. Agenda Item 83, Ordinance BL 2025-803. Agenda Item 84, Ordinance BL 2025-804. Agenda Item 85, Ordinance BL 2025-805. Agenda Item 86, Ordinance BL 2025-806. Agenda Item 87, BL 2025-807. Next is Agenda Item 90. That's Ordinance BL 2025-811. Agenda Item 91, Ordinance BL 2025-812. Agenda Item 92, Ordinance BL 2025-813. Agenda Item 93, Ordinance BL 2025-814. Agenda Item 94, Ordinance BL 2025-815. Agenda Item 95, Ordinance BL 2025-816. And then lastly, for the proposed consolidated consent agenda, Agenda Item 96, Ordinance BL 2025-817. Do any items need to be removed from the consent agenda? If so, if members would please join the queue to request that. All right. Seeing no one. Okay. I appreciate that, Ms. Bo. That's good to know. I do not see you on my monitor. ITS, I don't know if we're having an issue up here, but Ms. Vo, I see you now. Okay. Ms. Vo, you're recognized.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Can we please remove Agenda Item 40, RS 2025-1254?
Okay. Ms. Vo has requested the removal of Agenda Item 40, Resolution 2025-1254 has been removed from consent. Are any other members seeking to remove an item from the consent agenda? Okay, seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can you confirm, please, sir, that all committee reports are in for items on the proposed consent agenda?
Yes, all committee reports are in.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Is there a motion for the approval of the consolidated consent agenda, properly seconded? All in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, council has approved all items on the consolidated consent agenda. And now we will go back in agenda order for items that were not on the consent agenda. First, in resolutions. We have Agenda Item 1, Resolution 2025-960, sponsors Alan, Swara, Vo, Benedict, Coupin, Toombs, and Gadd. This is a resolution approving an adjustment to the Mixed Income Pilot Program as authorized pursuant to Ordinance Number BL 2022-1170 program. Ms. Allen, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. Committee reports, please.
Okay, Budget and Finance Chair Porterfield.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance considered RS 2025-960 and voted 11 in favor, 0 not voting. 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting on the substitute, and 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting on the resolution as substituted.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Planning and Zoning Chair Gamble, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Planning and Zoning recommended approval of the substitute, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting, and approval of the bill as substituted, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, it's back to you, Ms. Allen, for a motion on your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move the bill.
Okay, is there a second? All right, it's properly before us. Back to you.
Thank you, and now I'd like to move the substitute, please.
Okay, is there a second for the motion to substitute? Okay, back to you if you'd like to share about the substitute.
Thank you. I'd like to give a brief explanation. So this bill in general adjusts the mixed income pilot program that we created 2 years ago. It provides a tax abatement for multifamily housing that sets aside a certain percentage of units to be income restricted for residents who are earning something below the area median income. The program was very successful and it was well applied to, and 2 of those projects have since been constructed and are providing houses for people who are working people, but putting them in great areas of opportunity and great transit and access to good education. So it's a success. Market conditions changed, however, and the specific formula of the program needs to be tweaked. And so this substitute makes three tweaks to that. It changes it from a tiered to a calculator. It changes it from 75% AMI to 80% AMI, and it changes the abatement to cover the entire affordability period. And so with that, I would like to move the substitute, and then we'll come back on the bill as substituted.
Okay. Properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion on the substitute, the motion to substitute? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, so it's back to you for a motion on your bill as substituted.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And now I'd like to defer indefinitely with another brief explanation.
Okay, is there a second on the motion to defer indefinitely? You go ahead.
So these tweaks are important, and I wanted to get them out there on the record, but we still have a little bit more work to do on this. And I'm going to be working with the planning department to ensure that and stakeholders to ensure that we've incorporated what else needs to be incorporated. So it will come back at some point, and I appreciate my co-sponsors and would ask for their support for an indefinite deferral.
All right.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on the motion to defer as substituted indefinitely? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this resolution is deferred indefinitely as substituted. Okay. Next is agenda item 2, resolution 2025-1167. Sponsors Druffel, Allen, Lee, Cash, Gamble, Swara, Horton, Ewing, Weiner, and Webb. This is a resolution requesting the Metropolitan Department of Water and Sewerage Services that they make revisions to the Stormwater Management Manual to address stormwater drainage across Nashville and Davidson County by updating the infill tree credit and including multifamily structures as residential infill. Mr. Druffel, you're recognized, sir.
Thanks, Chair. Committee report.
Okay. Let's see. For the report of the Transportation Infrastructure Committee, I think we have Vice Chair Horton. Do you have a report on Resolution 1167?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Yes, the Transportation Infrastructure Committee considered RS 2025-1167 and we recommended withdrawal.
Okay.
We did not take a vote on it.
Okay. All right. It's back to you, Mr. Druffel.
Yeah, I'd like to withdraw this with a brief explanation.
Go ahead, sir.
So we've been working on language of this as a non-binding resolution for the last 4 or 5 weeks. But the reality is we need to put this in an ordinance fashion, right? As you can see, storms like this cause a lot of damage. Just a couple of emails recently, and I'm starting to see it from just today. So this all started about a month or 2 ago when we had that 12 inches of rain. What I wanted to do is get a resolution out there to let our constituents know we're working on this. We've been working on this for about 3 years, and now we have, I think, 2 very viable solutions. Now we need to put this in a serious fashion ordinance. I started working with Stormwater to put this together, and we plan on putting something out and bringing it into infrastructure in the next few months. So with that, I withdraw. Thank you.
Okay, the resolution is withdrawn. Thank you, Mr. Druffel. All right, next is agenda item 3, resolution 2025-1187, sponsors Hill, Gamble, Rutherford, Hancock, and Coupin. This is a resolution approving an intergovernmental license agreement between the Metro government and the United States of America to enter certain property located at 1414 County Hospital Road, owned by the Metro government. For limited military training. Chair Hill, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Withdraw.
Okay, that bill is withdrawn. And Ms. Hill, also for agenda item 4, Resolution 2025-1188, a similar resolution approving an intergovernmental license agreement between the Metro government, also at that location at 1414 County Hospital Road for limited military training purposes. Go ahead, Ms. Hill.
Also withdrawn.
Okay, that is withdrawn. So both resolutions 1187 and 1188 are withdrawn. All right. Next is agenda item 6, Resolution 2025-1218, sponsor Porterfield. This is a resolution establishing the certified tax rate in the General Services District and declaring the amount of the certified tax rate for the Urban Services District pursuant to the provisions of the Tennessee Code annotated. Ms. Porterfield, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports. Budget and Finance voted on RS 2025-1218 and voted 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting, and voted in favor of the, that was for the substitute, and voted in favor of the substitute, 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, and with that report in, it's back to you for a motion on this resolution.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I would like to move for approval of the substitute, and then I will be making a motion to defer the legislation until June 17th to track with the budget.
Okay, so let's get the bill before us, and then, so it's properly moved and seconded. And now if you would make your motion to substitute.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move to approve the substitute.
Okay. The substitute has been seconded. Is there any discussion on the substitute? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to substitute, please say aye. Okay. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay. So it's back to you on your resolution as substituted.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I would like to move to defer it until June 17th to track with the budget.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. The motion is to defer the resolution as substituted to track with the budget to the meeting of June 17th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there any discussion on that motion to defer? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, that is deferred to June 17th to track with the budget. Next is agenda item 7, resolution 2025-1220, also sponsor Porterfield. This is a resolution authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $158 million in aggregate principal amount of interfund tax anticipation notes of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County. Ms. Porterfield, Chair, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports. Budget and Finance voted for RS 2025-1220 and voted 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. And with all committee reports in, I would like to defer this until June 17th to also track with the budget.
Okay. Is there a second? Okay, there's a motion to defer this resolution to the meeting of June 17th to track with the budget. It is properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this deferral motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this is deferred to the meeting of June 17th. Next is agenda item 10, resolution 2025-1223, sponsors Webb and Porterfield. This is a resolution approving an economic impact plan for the Rivergate Mall Economic Development Project. Sponsor Webb, you are recognized.
Committee reports.
Okay. Chair of Budget and Finance, Ms. Porterfield, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance considered RS 2025-1223 and voted 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting on the amendment, and voted 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting on the resolution as amended.
Okay. With that committee report in, it's back to you, Ms. Webb, for a motion to get the bill before us.
I move to approve.
Okay, properly moved and seconded, and we are on to discussion. We'll go back to you first if there's anything you'd like to share. Nope.
Just want to thank the mayor's office and the IAB board and say this is something that's going to really, really enhance the District 10, the Rivergate Mall. Maris has been going to be a great partner, and I just want to thank him for everything, especially Bob Mendez for all the hard work that he's put in on this for this district. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Webb. Okay, now we're on to discussion. Councilmember Evan Siegel, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to move the amendment.
All right, is there a second? Okay, properly moved and seconded. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Vice Mayor. This amendment is what I would consider a cleanup amendment to how we do TIFs, which just makes it where when somebody gets, a company gets a TIF and gets a tax break, they have to tell us if they are appealing their tax assessment. Otherwise, under state law, we're not entitled to the evidence they present. We don't get notice that they've appealed it. And as in the case of the Bellevue Mall, they can actually default and we can incur additional liabilities because we don't know about that and they lower their tax bill.
Okay, thank you for a description of the amendment. It has been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion on the amendment? Ms. Stiles, do you seek to be recognized on the amendment? Okay. All in favor of the motion to amend, please say aye. Okay, any voting no or abstaining? Okay. Ms. Webb, it's back to you for a motion on the resolution as amended, if you would like.
Move for approval.
Okay, as amended, correct?
As amended.
Okay, there's a motion to approve as amended, and so we are still on discussion. Ms. Stiles, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Vice Mayor. Congratulations to my colleague. Our second blighted mall is getting addressed. I just want to make sure, so we're excited about this second mall. We don't forget about our first mall. Make sure that the studies that need to get done. We are still waiting for our project to move forward, so I fully support you. I want you to have great things in your district. I just want to make sure we don't forget about District 32 that's been sitting here for over a decade. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I need to be recorded as abstaining.
Okay. We can do that. Mr. Clerk will record you. Ms. Evans, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I think my question is for the administration. I just was interested in knowing kind of the threshold of when does a project like this become like viable for Metro to pursue kind of this TIF solution?
Okay. Mr. Mendez, you're recognized for the administration. Go ahead.
Thanks, Councilmember. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Well, we weren't looking to be involved in a second blighted mall, as the Councilmember referenced, but this developer came to us with contracts with 3 different parties to be able to move forward and a master plan that was already partially way through the planning commission process. And they approached us, and we've probably put, 100 person hours into analyzing the request. It is the first tax increment financing transaction of this administration. And we think this is a good one to do because there is genuine blight in the area. Anybody who is familiar with the area over time understands that it isn't what it used to be, and it's not really reflective of the community. This is a great opportunity to have a third party buy the mall and redevelop it. And just for comparison, so far the city's got about $45 million in purchase price into Global Mall, about $10 million into demolition cost at Global Mall, and lots of energy and money to come in having there be a real bus station there that's being planned to fit in with the all-access corridor. And here, by comparison, for a present value of about $22.5 million, we'll have a third party be able to redevelop the entire thing. So the price point compared to what we've tried and are actively undergoing somewhere else is just so much more attractive that we really couldn't let it pass without investigating it thoroughly.
Ms. Evans, does that answer your question fully? Okay, thank you, Mr. Mendez. Mr. Bradford, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. This question is going to be directed to Ms. Darby first, and if we need to, maybe administration.
Okay.
With the amendment that we tacked on that kind of adds that extra level of transparency and notification, is this something we're going to have to do each time there's a TIF, or could we kind of pass an ordinance saying going forward, this has to be a requirement for any TIF that we do.
Special Counsel Darby, you're recognized.
I don't think it necessarily needs to be an ordinance. I think the request could be made of the mayor's office and their chief development officer to ensure that this particular provision is included in any future TIF agreements, or as this one is, an economic impact plan through the IDB.
So I appreciate the answer. So basically, this kind of level of transparency would be up to each administration. And so there's no guarantee that the next administration would try to be this transparent. Now, if we did an ordinance and made a requirement, then we could guarantee going forward that each administration ensures that we have that level of transparency. Is that correct?
Go ahead, Ms. Darby.
Yes, that would guarantee it for future administrations to add it into the legislation.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bradford. All right. Seeing no one else seeking discussion on the motion to approve this resolution as amended, we will move to the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Any voting no? Any other abstentions? Okay, Ms. Allen is abstaining. All right, so you have adopted this resolution. All right, now lastly on resolutions, agenda item 40, resolution 2025-1254, sponsors Vo, Hill, Toombs, Wiener, Evans, Nash, Coopin, Stiles, Gregg, Lee, Huffman, Cap, Gadd, Swara, Allen, Gamble, Taylor, Benedict, Evans, Siegel, and Ellis, is a resolution recognizing May 2025 as Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month in Nashville and Davidson County. Ms. Vo, you are recognized.
Thank you so much, Vice Mayor. Committee report, please.
For the report of rules, confirmations, and public elections, Chair Prep T.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. The committee considered the resolution, voted 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, it's back to you, Ms. Vo.
Great. Move to approve with a brief comment.
Properly moved and seconded. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. AANHPI Heritage Month is a time not only to honor the richness and diversity of Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander cultures, but also a time to reflect on the lessons that history offers us. This month is more than a celebration of food, dance, music, and language. Those are beautiful and essential parts of every culture. It's also important to learn from the resilience, courage, and contributions of AA and HPI communities throughout American history. First, let's remember the story of Japanese Americans who were incarcerated during World War II. Over 120,000 people, citizens and immigrants, were forcibly relocated and incarcerated because of fear and prejudice. From that injustice came a powerful movement. Japanese Americans fought for recognition and redress, and their efforts led to the Civil Liberties Act of 1988, a formal apology and reparations. The lesson there, even in moments of profound injustice, communities come together to demand accountability and make change. Second, let's reflect on the Chinese laborers who built the Transcontinental Railroad. Their work connected the nation, yet their names and stories were left out of history books for generations. They endured back-breaking labor, discrimination, and violence, yet they persevered. The lesson there, our national progress has always depended on the labor and sacrifices of immigrants. Their stories deserve to be told and honored. Third, let's uplift the strength of the Native Hawaiian communities, who, after years of colonization and cultural suppression, led to a cultural revival known as Hawaiian Renaissance. Through the reclamation of language, land, and tradition, Native Hawaiians showed the world that identity can survive and thrive even after attempts to erase it. The lesson there, culture is not only worth preserving, it is a form of resistance and a source of power. So as we celebrate AA and HPI Heritage Month, let us embrace the beauty of these cultures, not just in what we see and hear, but in what we learn. Let's teach these stories, share them, and carry them forward, because when we understand history, we build empathy. And when we celebrate culture, we build community. So thank you to everyone who signed on and everyone in our community who celebrates this month. May we all remember to keep learning, keep honoring, and keep growing together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Vo. All right. Is there any further discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, you have adopted this resolution. All right, next we're moving into section L of our agenda, bills on introduction and first reading. Without objection, all items on first reading will be voted on at the same time. Do any items need to be pulled from first reading consideration? Okay, Mr. Huffman, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Item 46 BL 2025-837.
Okay, agenda item 46. And that is right here, ordinance 837. Got it. Do any additional items need to be pulled from first reading consideration? Okay. Is there a motion for approval of all the items remaining on first consideration, properly seconded? So without objection, you have approved all items on first reading consideration, excepting item 46, which we will now go back to. Mr. Huffman, you are recognized. This is ordinance BL 2025-837. Additional sponsors are Greg, Evans, and Horton. This is an ordinance amending section 17.20.030 of the Metro Code of Laws to eliminate the minimum parking requirements for the bar or nightclub use. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I want to move for approval, but I need to defer the public hearing to the first meeting in August.
Okay, is there a second for that motion? Okay, Mr. Huffman has moved for approval on first reading with deferral of the second reading to the first meeting in August. Okay, is there any further discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right. So this ordinance has passed its first reading, and it will be on second reading at the meeting of August 5th. Okay? All right. That concludes our first reading items. Now we're moving into section M of our agenda, bills on second reading. The first among those that were not on consent is agenda item 56, ordinance BL 2025-819, sponsors Parker, Hill, Bradford, Allen, Stiles, Ellis, Vo, and Ewing. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 10 of the Metro Code of Laws to create the Metropolitan Government Department of Waste Services. Chair Parker, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
Okay, first for the report of government operations and regulations. Chair Hill, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. We approved the amendment, 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting, and then we voted to approve as amended, 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, now Chair, back to you for your own committee report, sir.
The Vice Chair Horton has it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. Vice Chair Horton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Transportation Infrastructure Committee considered the bill and the amendment. We voted recommend approval of the amendment, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting, and voted in favor of the bill as amended, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, thank you so much. And it's back to you, Chair Parker, for a motion on your bill.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I will move approval.
Just to get it before us?
To get it before us, yes.
Yep. Is there a second on the motion to approve? Okay. So it's before us. If there's anything you'd like to say to start?
I'll go. I'll just
Yep.
let
That's
it get
fine.
amended and then.
Okay, so we're on to discussion. First to be recognized is Ms. Allen, who is Chair of our Solid Waste Subcommittee of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. Ms. Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I will say that the subcommittee voted unanimously to support this.
Great.
I'm excited this is happening. I will let the chair talk more about what a great thing it is that we are now creating a separate Department of Waste Services. I do have an amendment that I would like to move with a brief explanation.
Okay, is there a second on the motion to amend? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. This amendment simply adds some additional reporting requirements, specifically dealing with recycling, which I think is something that this department, as it gets stands up, will be able to move forward more effectively. And it also deletes Section 9, which talked about changing things by resolution. So with that, I would move for approval.
Okay. It's properly moved and seconded, this amendment. And is there any further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, the amendment is on the bill, and it's back to you, Chair Parker, for a motion to approve as amended, I would guess. I'm sorry, sir, I didn't hit your button. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move approval as amended.
Is there a second? Okay, properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion or anything you'd like to add, Chair?
Just briefly, y'all know that in the last few years, especially the second termers, that we have done some pretty significant structural changes to important departments in Metro, namely creating INDOT out of Public Works and moving the solid waste collection function out of Public Works over to Metro Water. Metro Water did a phenomenal job kind of bridging the gap and making sure that that essential function kept happening. But I'm very pleased to have this legislation before us today to prop up our solid waste department as a full department, which I think the function of solid waste collection around the county or in the Urban Services District is essential, and it warrants having a department. And I want to thank the chair of our solid waste subcommittee for the amendment. It's a great amendment, and I would encourage my colleagues to support this legislation.
Great. Thank you so much, Chair. Okay, there is a motion to approve as amended. It's properly seconded. Is there any further discussion on this bill that is on second reading? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this has passed its second of 3 readings. All right, next we are moving into section N of our agenda, bills on third reading that were not proposed for the consolidated consent agenda. And first among those is agenda item 72. And we also will have agenda item 73, its companion bill. Agenda item 72 is ordinance BL 2025-789, sponsor Gamble. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by amending a specific plan for property located at 535 Boyd's Hilltop Drive, approximately 453 feet north of Old Hickory Boulevard, zoned SP. This is 1.09 acres to permit non-residential uses only as accessory to the church located on the parcel mentioned here. Okay. Ms. Gamble, we will need to take up 72, or rather 789, first for purposes of substitution, but once we're substituted, then you can make a consolidated motion for the companion 790 if you would like. Okay, go ahead, sponsor and chair Gamble.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, which I am the...
Okay, yes, ma'am. Your committee report, please.
Planning and zoning recommended approval, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. And I would like to move the substitute, or move the bill and then move the substitute.
Okay, is there a second on the motion to get the bill before us? Approval, okay. And then I've also heard Ms. Gamble with a motion to substitute. Is there a second for that? Okay. Anything you want to share about the substitute?
This substitute just adds some conditions that were made during the Planning Commission meeting regarding height to the billboard. The church is Cornerstone Church in my district, and this SP was approved several years ago, but they're wanting to add a digital billboard and add more space to the recreational center, had community meetings, broad support for it. So just ask for the council support today.
Okay. You've heard an explanation of the substitute, which has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion on the motion to substitute? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, so the substitute is on the bill, and then Ms. Gamble, if you would like to kind of amend your motion for 789 as substituted
Yes.
with its companion 790.
Thank you. I would like to move for approval, Bill 2025-789 as substituted, and the companion bill, Bill 2025-790.
Okay, is there a second for that motion? Is there any discussion on it? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, you have adopted 789 and 790. Okay, next is agenda item 79, ordinance BL 2025-799, sponsor Coupon. This is an ordinance amending Title 17.37 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro Government of Nashville and Davidson County to update the downtown code's bonus height program and outdoor space general standards and to make minor housekeeping amendments. Mr. Coupon, you are recognized, sir. Whoops, I'm sorry. Push
I can talk
push
loud.
the
There
wrong
you go.
button, sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam President. Committee reports, please.
All right, for the report of planning and zoning, Chair Gamble on Mr. Coupon's 799.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Planning and zoning recommended approval of the substitute, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting, and then approval of the bill as substituted, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, it's back to you, Mr. Coupon, to get the bill before us, sir.
Thank you. Move approval.
Is there a second? Okay, properly moved and seconded. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Madam President. Move the substitute.
All right, is there a second for that? Okay, properly moved and seconded. Anything you want to say about the substitute, sir?
Just that it's some housekeeping matters and has been moving pretty well.
All right, is there any discussion on the motion to substitute? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, back to you.
Thank you. Move as substituted.
Okay.
It's a hard word.
No worries. There is a motion to approve as substituted. It's properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this bill on third and final reading? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, you have adopted this ordinance on its third and final reading. Next is, or are, agenda items 88 and 89, sponsor Toombs. 88 is ordinance BL 2025-809. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro Government, by changing from IWD and RS 7.5 to SP zoning for various properties located along Dickerson Pike, Lemuel Road, Jones Street, and Locust Street, approximately 343 feet south of Kenneth Drive. This is 106.9 acres to permit a mixed-use development. And the companion bill, again, agenda item 89-810, proposes to require certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at that same site in the aforementioned ordinance. Go ahead, Ms. Toombs, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee report.
Committee report for planning and zoning, Chair Gamble, on 809 and 810, please.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Planning and zoning recommended approval, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, and is that on both 809 and 810?
And 810, exactly.
Okay, yes, ma'am, thank you. Ms. Toombs, back to you.
Thank you. I'd like to move for a one meeting deferral for both 809 and 810.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. A one meeting deferral on 809 and its companion 810. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, you have deferred those one meeting. That does conclude our agenda. Our next regular council meeting will be on Tuesday, June the 3rd. Okay, Mr. Prep T, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I'll be very quick with this. I didn't get an opportunity to say this earlier, but just wanted to take a quick point of personal privilege. Today is my nephew Atticus's 10th birthday. So Atticus, if you're watching, I doubt it. But on behalf of the city of Nashville, happy birthday.
All righty. Okay, there's a motion to adjourn. We are adjourned.
Yeah.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.